A couple of days ago, I was driving around and listening. There was a radio program on public radio, and they were interviewing you, or at least people from Omaha, and they were asking about unique Christmas traditions that your family might have. And there was one odd one that kept popping up. They interviewed several people, and they all had the same thing. So I just wanted to check and see if any of you do this. It's a pickle ornament. And you put the pickle ornament in the tree, and then whoever finds the pickle ornament gets to be the first one to unwrap the gifts. I see nodding heads. Odd. But there are lots of odd Christmas traditions around. We had one this past week, not odd, but we participated here at the parish with the posadas. The posadas were started by Franciscan missionaries when they came to the Americas years ago to try and teach some traditions in a fun way. So in the posada, there's a group outside singing and a group inside singing. On the outside is Joseph and Mary, and on the inside are people who reject them. So if you were here for it, it was in Spanish, so you may not have gotten the translation. So let me give you the posada in English. It's kind of fun. So they knock on the door, and then the Joseph and Mary sing, "In the name of heaven, we ask you for shelter, for my beloved wife can go no farther." And then from the inside, the people who are on the inside sing, "This is not an inn. Go away. Get on with you. I'm not opening the door. You might be a rogue." So then Joseph sings back, "Well, don't be inhuman. So show some charity. God in heaven will reward you." And from the inside you sing, "You can go away now. Don't bother us anymore. If you keep knocking, I'm going to get angry, and who knows, I might hit you." And Joseph sings, "Well, we're worn out. We came all the way from Nazareth. I'm a carpenter. My name is Joseph. I don't care about your name. We're tired. We want to sleep. I already told you, we're not going to open the door." And Joseph sings again, "Well, we request lodging, dear innkeeper, only one night. After all, she's the Queen of Heaven." "Oh my gosh, if she's a queen who's asking, why is she out at night with somebody like you?" And then Joseph sings again, My wife is Mary. She's the Queen of Heaven. She will be the mother of God's Word." "Oh, you're that Joseph. And she's that Mary? Well, we didn't recognize you. Come on in." So then everybody gets to sing this. "Enter, holy pilgrims. Pilgrims, receive this corner, this little poor dwelling, but not the poor dwelling. Receive my heart. For tonight is for joy, for pleasure, for rejoicing. Tonight we give lodging to the one who will be the mother of the Son of God." So for 500 years, the posadas have been celebrated throughout the Spanish-speaking world, and you get tired of rejecting Jesus, I think, because over and over again you have to sing those words, "Go away! Who are you? I'm busy. Leave me alone. I got things to do. Come on." So the sense of hospitality that comes out of having sung that song so often in your life, because you don't ever then want to mistakenly reject Jesus. So just, you might be entertaining angels, you might be entertaining Jesus, so don't reject him. Can only imagine what it was like for Joseph as he went from place to place, trying to get in, trying to find a place for his wife to have a baby. She's probably saying, my water broke, Joseph, we really need to get somewhere fast. And no room, no room, no room, no room. A number of years ago, when I was at Guadalupe on Christmas Eve, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon at the office, we were just ready to shut everything down. And a woman came to the door with 3 kids. They had just arrived in Omaha. And I think, on Christmas Eve? And do you have a place to stay? And I think, oh no. I'm going to have to say, and no room. I called up 2 of the nuns who worked in the parish and said, we got this woman here with 3 kids. Can you put her up for the night at least? It's Christmas Eve. And they said, we feel absolutely terrible, but we're leaving first thing in the morning to go to our mother house, so really they can't stay with us. But they felt guilty. They probably feel guilty to this day for turning away a holy family. There was another sister who was working in the parish who put them up then for a couple days until we found them some housing. But it's that kind of situations that happen in our lives where we try as human beings to respond out of the love that we know God has for us to love in return. And that's kind of what we celebrate every Christmas, that we know we are loved. Jesus took on our human flesh. We know how incredible that is. That incarnation news is absolutely amazing. And so we try in our celebrations of Christmas to love. Here, I think, is the spiritual challenge with every Christmas. Because each of us on Christmas are trying to tell everyone we love them. So we're trying to tell everybody at the same time. And so you feel a little bit overwhelmed. How do I ever tell everybody I love that they're loved? How do I, because you don't want to disappoint somebody, not get them a gift, not send them a card, not let them know that they're loved. So we do our best. And so many of you are probably exhausted at this point and saying, oh my gosh, we're finally here. We can make it to Christmas Day. Because I've been trying to tell everybody I love them. Yeah. It is a challenging task. But let me say, in the midst of trying to do that, we might miss the one person who this is all about. So I'm glad you're here tonight. And perhaps you can find just a moment or two somewhere tonight, tomorrow, to tell Jesus you love him. Because that's who it's all about, and sometimes that gets missed. I noticed the other day in the paper that the book and movie Color Purple is coming out now as a musical, and it brought back memories. Those my age and older would probably remember the Color Purple. But it's got one little piece of great theology in the book. You might recall it. Celie and Shug are talking, and she says, I think God gets really teed off when you walk past a field with flowers of the color purple and you don't notice it. And Celie says, what happens when he gets teed off? And Shug says back, well, he doesn't do anything to hurt you. Actually, what he does is he just makes something more. Because what our God likes more than anything else is admiration. See, he says he likes to be adored. Well, not so much. He's not kind of self-centered. But what he cares about is that you know you're loved. That's what he wants you to know. And so when you don't notice and he gets teed off, he just works all the harder to let you know you are loved until you can love him back. What we celebrate tonight is that in the midst of human history, God chose this way to tell you you are loved. He took on our human flesh so that you would not be frightened of the God of the universe, but you could look into the eyes of a baby and know that you are loved. And if you miss it, he's just going to try all the harder to get your attention.